here. What's up, everybody? It's your favorite alien suits favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the second half of this new Spider-Man Marvel Legend Wave. Black Suit Spider-Man, the 2099 alternate suit Spider-Man, the new Miss Marvel, and the Shocker. Without further ado, let's just get going. And we'll start with this 2099 Spider-Man. Now, conversely to Tuesday's review, this is the only one of these four that doesn't have any accessories. But we've seen this mold before. That being said, we're just going to fly through. We're going to talk about the paint real quick, because the paint on this is stellar. It's like a gold, it's like a red chrome paint, really sharp. It doesn't match these pieces. We'll talk about that when we get there, but it's such a minor deal in the overall scheme of things. The white underneath, this blue line work, it's all tight like a tiger. Down here, the little blue bits on the shoes, it's all done really well. This is some of their best paint I've seen in a while. There's even this little blue detail at the bottom of the shoulder that is just surprising they would have included. Now let's talk about it. The head is on a ball hinge, up to there, down to there, and the swivel. And the red eyes is painted extremely, or are painted extremely clean, rather. Now, of course, you know, this is one of those instances where I lucked out and got a clean painted figure. Individual results will definitely vary. So we do have a bit of a butterfly joint on this fella. Very Wolverine, yeah, because I think this is from the Wolverine mold. Looks really good. You get his arms way back to there, tons of posing options, and then even a little bit forward. So that works well. Disc hinge shoulders get you up to here and here on this one, so you might even be able to get, yeah, you can get a little bit more. And then you had the up, unfortunately, is blocked. No, you can move around. This joint's just a little stuck. So that's good. And then we have the bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and hinge in and out. Same on this side. We do have these extra bits. They are just glued in. One little paint defect there. That's the only one I've seen so far. Actually, there's one there too that's scratching from this. That's unfortunate, but oh well. Overall, still a pretty well painted figure. Let's see. Red lines on the fingers. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be on the knuckle, the middle of the knuckle, or not. It doesn't bother me either way. We have the ab crunch down to there, back to there. So that's 2 and 1. Waist swivel. T-jointed ball joints for hips, get you out to there, forward and back to there. Thigh swivel, double jointed knee, shin swivel, ankle tilt down, up, and the rockers built in. So a very effective figure, if not the most noteworthy character. And we have Black Suit Spider-Man. We've seen this mold a ton of times too. This is the one where it has a butterfly joint that doesn't connect at all, and it turned out really terribly on Iceman, for instance. But let's talk about the paint real quick, and then we'll kind of fly through the figure. It's done fairly clean. Some of the white didn't quite make it in all the crevices on mine, and the black shows through, but it does continue up for the ab crunch and stuff, and back for the back, which is nice. And the eyes are painted really sharp, which I think is the most important part here. So let's fly through it for the sake of flying through it, so to speak. Head is on a ball hinge, up to there, down to there, swivel, butterfly joint. We'll just look at this arm, get you back to there and forward to there, with a disc hinge shoulder that gets you up to there, and then the swivel. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow, wrist swivel, and hinge in and out, and that's the same on the other side. We do have the black dot on the white square, which is nice. Ab crunch, 1 click forward, 1 click back. It doesn't click. I'm just using it as a point of reference. Waist swivel that destroys the sculpt. T-jointed ball joints for hips. Get you out to there, forward and back to there. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knee. No shin swivel here, but we got an ankle tilt down and up. And the rocker is built in. So kind of a straightforward figure. Nothing really special. But I think it performs the task fairly decently. And he does come with 2 alternate hands. The kind of wall crawling hands with the same sort of details. Work fine. We've seen the hands before as well. Next up is the new Miss Marvel. I've only read her, I think, in 1 book, and she didn't make a huge impact on me. But she seems to be fairly popular. Head is on a ball hinge, gets you down to there, up to there, and a little bit of swivel. The hair and the scarf really lock this figure up as far as the head articulation. The details here they're okay. I feel like the eyes, there's something off at the bottom of the eyes. I can't put my finger on what it is. It's a decent enough sculpt. I think it'll work. But I feel like I've seen better. The mask is done really well, and the lips are painted well. So that's good. And then this scarf bit is a floating piece of plastic that sits over, and then the head is put on top. Articulation wise, moving down, we do have nice gold paint real quick. It is getting out of the line a little bit there. Disc hinge shoulders get you up to there and around. No bicep swivel, but you do get the swivel at the elbow with a single hinged elbow, getting you a little bit past 90 degrees, and my gold there is chipping. Keep that up as a heads up. This is an extra piece, isn't it? Yes, I thought so. Extra piece, and then these, we'll just remove. Theoretically, this piece pops out, and then you can replace it with one of two options. On this side, you got a fist hand. We'll go ahead and do it just for the sake of looking at it. Same articulation, except there's no wrist articulation. And then on this side, there's like a reaching hand. She does a good bit of this in the book. But yeah, so that's a cool little thought. You know, it's kind of a goofy power to make look cool, so I get it. Single jointed ball joint for the diaphragm joint, but it works pretty well. And then the gold is painted well on there. T-jointed ball joints for hips get you a great range out to there, forward and back to here and here, with a thigh swivel and a double jointed knee, getting you the full range just before a calf swivel and an ankle tilt up, down, both great ranges, and ankle rocker. It's nice that the boot swivel, you know, allows for a clean cut and color, no paint breakup or having to line up that paint around this cylindrical shape. So that's nice, and then the rest of this works fairly well. So it's nothing special, but it's nothing hateful either. It just sort of works. There's a couple paint issues here and a couple articulation hindrances in the head, but other than that, it, you know, I don't know. I think it does a fine job. And then lastly, the shocker. Yeah, I think a lot of people, there's another figure that they've wanted updates of. Comes with two of these things, which are getting a little played out. It does fade from an orange to a yellow, but I think we've had just about enough of these. Just, you know, let's give us something different. We ran that for like a year and a half. Let's think of something new now. You know, I'm okay with reusing it for about a year, but after that, I think we should start thinking about other options. It's a pretty good figure. So the head is on a ball hinge down to there, up to there. The net paint is kind of done really well throughout, surprisingly so. It's a really clean paint job. We got the ab crunch down to there and up to there. We have the disc hinge shoulders that get you up to there and around. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbow. We have these pieces which are extra glued on for the wrist gauntlets. They're painted silver and it's done well. And then another one on the hand. Both fist hands, both hinge in and out. So that works well. Waist swivel down here. Extra pieces once again glued onto the knee. Works like a champ. Looks extremely good. It's functional. It's effective. T-jointed ball joints for hips get you out to there. Front and back to there. Thigh swivel. Double jointed knee. And that knee cover covers that really well. And then boot swivel. And then ankle tilt up and down, and then the rocker is built in. The feet are really small on this fella, I feel like, proportionately. It has been one of my complaints. And as a result, sometimes he has a difficult time standing. But outside of that, like one eye, like making the Deadpool face, which I don't know. I don't want to assume. But it looks good. It's a decent shocker. I think a lot of people have wanted a shocker for a long time, and it's a decent representation of them. So all in all, no real complaints here. Final thoughts wise, once again, I think this line, the major issues are more so character choice, but let's just run through some of the issues real quick. With this particular set, that white really filling out that black plastic on the black Spider-Man sometimes has an issue. For the most part, it's done pretty well, but every now and then you're going to bump into a few problems. There's all sorts of gold sloppy paint on Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel's head articulation is kind of wonky, and I haven't made my mind up about her eyes yet. I feel like some of the white is spilling into the eyelid, but the sculpt details aren't that sharp on it, so I'm having a hard time seeing where the line begins and where it ends in relationship to where the paint begins and ends. Accessory wise, they all make sense. I would like to see Shocker's accessories, that wrist accessory kind of, go the way of the dodo. I think that, we've ran that fairly far. Let's come up with some new stuff. Let's keep innovating. One thing I must say across the board for the most part with this line is the paint has been pretty good. Couple exceptions, Miss Marvel being one. But overall, they've done a really good job with the paint. I think that red chrome paint on that 2099 Spider-Man is just very striking. Articulation is pretty good. They're all $20 figures, so I think that they're worth their cost if you're into the characters. If you want to build a figure and you are kind of going to sacrifice a few dollars to buy some figures you're not sure about in order to do so, maybe I can help shine some light on that come Friday. Other than that, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.
Quick little change of format to story time today. So I think most people my age, when I was a young lad, the first comic books I got into were Spider-Man comics. I think a lot of people in my age bracket got into Spider-Man first. Sometimes Wolverine, but usually Spider-Man, and then that grew into Wolverine, the X-Men, and such. The first comic I bought was Amazing Spider-Man 341, where he loses his powers again. He's going normal. And my grandmother bought it for me from the local Highs, which is like a convenience store, like a Quickie Mart. And anyway, my grandmother was very dear to me. She passed in 2007, and I have that book. I still have it to this day, and I have it framed in my house, and I have it signed by Eric Larson, who was doing the pencils for it at the time. And I think that I urge anybody in the collector world that's like a comic book person, if they have their first comic, get that bad boy signed, get it framed, because it ends up meaning a lot to you. And I'll show you mine now. And it's up there on the wall. It's a little dark, I know, but there it is. Let me see if I can't put some light on that bad boy. There we go. So yeah, cool story, bro.